everyone. Today I'm going live with Kevin Black, who is also a contributor in the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle, and he contributed the ebook for the love of tacos, and he will be doing a demo of the Smoky Apple tortilla in the from his ebook. The Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle is taking place right now until the 12th of May. Click the link in either one of our bios to go check it out because it's such a great deal, and it's only available just for this, the next 7 days, 8 days? No, less than 7 days, I think. Okay, let me pin this, and then I see Kevin has already sent a request. This is very strange buzzing coming from my from my tripod. I hope it works. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. I just did my 1 hour of arm exercises, so my hands a bit in pain, but I'm excited to watch your demo and take my mind off the pain.
Okay, I'm just trying to adjust this. I might have to turn it down when I start actually spreading the tortillas around.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
So
yeah.
I just want to be in full view tonight. I know I was like this the other night with Lissa, so
yeah, it always takes a bit of adjusting when you're doing an Instagram live.
yeah. So you're coming to me from the future. You're actually
That's right. It's already Wednesday over here in 9 in the morning. Yeah, whereas it's still Tuesday on your side. Yeah.
12 hours difference.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you want to tell people a little bit about you and a little bit about your wonderful raw vegan tacos ebook, and then you can go into the demo of how to make something from there.
Okay. Well, my name is Kevin, of course. I currently live in Pennsylvania, and I have been raw since March of 2015. So I just celebrated 9 years back in March. Been passionate about this since day one. It's never been a struggle for me to stay on it. It's been a way for me to channel my creativity and just try to simulate all the meals that I ate before going raw. But yeah, I just really love this lifestyle, and I'm so passionate about it, as I've seen that you are as well. And I have an all taco book in the bundle this year. Yeah. It has 10 taco creations.
Nice.
5 different tortilla recipes, and then you have your toppings like your cheese and your, I call it sour crema, but it's like a sour cream simulation, and some pico de gallo and some different sauces and stuff. So, but yeah, so
very cool.
If you want, I can get started on showing people, and I'll just be doing half of the recipe that is in the book. So, and if people want to save this video for later or take notes, I will be giving the recipe for these tortillas. So, and with half of it, it's going to make 4 tortillas. The whole recipe that's in the book makes 8, but we're just going to do 4 tonight. So I just cut the recipe in half. So, but I'm going to adjust this a little bit here.
Cool.
So you might not see my face. So with half of the recipe, I'm just going to do it in a NutriBullet. Now, if you're doing the full recipe, I would recommend using like a bigger blender with a tamper. And so if you are using the NutriBullet, you're going to want to put the apples in first. So we're going to be using 2 cups of apples, and any red sweet apple will work for this.
Okay.
Just make sure you take the skin off, remove the seeds, and just dice it up. So we're going to put this in the cup first.
I forgot to remove the skin because it's a bit hard for me to peel off the skin right now with my wrist injury.
With you only really having one hand to work with. So, and then we're going to put 1 cup of red onion, which is also diced.
Nice.
And the reason we put the onion in last, if you're using a NutriBullet, is because we want the onions to blend up first, because they have a water content that'll help the apples to blend up. So if you're using a Vitamix, of course, you'll want to put the onions in first. So you always want the onions to be on top of where the blade is. So we're going to mix this up, and then we're going to add some other ingredients. I'm just going to use the NutriBullet behind me to mix this up here quick. Okay. Hopefully it won't be too loud.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a nice pink mixture at first. I'm just going to take this off of here. And then we're going to add, you're going to start out with 3 tablespoons of buckwheat groats, but you're going to want to mill them into a flour. So for that, I like to use a small NutriBullet cup with the milling blade. I don't know if NutriBullet still, when they sell their packages, if they still sell the smaller cups and the milling blades or not. I know I got these years ago, but they work really good to mill up something into flour. So 3 tablespoons of the buckwheat groats, you're gonna mill that into flour, and then we're gonna add that.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you sprout your buckwheat groats first before doing that? Or?
Sometimes I do, yeah. For this one, I didn't. I just had some in the refrigerator that were not sprouted. Of course, sprouting is always best.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And then I have 1 tablespoon of golden flaxseed, which I also milled in the small cup of the NutriBullet into a meal. So we're going to add that. And then 1 tablespoon of the whole psyllium husk. Make sure it's the whole husk. Years ago, I bought Chris Kendall's pizza book. And I never used psyllium husk or any of this stuff before. So that was a new ingredient for me.
Right.
So when I was looking for the ingredients, I ended up buying psyllium seed powder.
Right, okay.
So when I made a pizza crust from Chris's book, I threw all this stuff in my Vitamix, and it gummed it up.
Because it's way too much. If you're using powder, it's almost twice the amount.
Yeah. I was using, he called for a certain amount of this, and I substituted the psyllium seed powder at the same ratio. And I found out the hard way that it's not, I spent a good part of my day cleaning, you know,
wow.
like something that sort of looked like rubber out of my Vitamix. And then we're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika.
Nice. That makes it smoky.
Yep. and then an 1/8 teaspoon of chipotle powder.
Do you have any suggestions for substitutions if people can't get chipotle powder?
Maybe something like cayenne or any kind of like hot pepper.
Right, okay. Cayenne's really hot though. Com
Yeah,
yeah,
the
compared to
chipotle is too.
chipotle.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So that's basically it. We're going to blend it again. Then you want to, let me see here. I'm going to have to adjust this a little more. Yeah, hold on.
Oh, no problem. Maybe I'll tell people I also tried making your smoky apple tortillas. Yeah, so I learned certain things from it. Number one, number one, peel the apples first, cut it up into really small pieces, and then have because I had it in my Vitamix, so I should put the red onions in first nearer the blade so that because it's higher water content. It's funny because I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, should I put the apple or the onions first? And somehow I thought the onions would, no, the apples were softer. So I thought they would blend easier, but they didn't. Yeah. So, yeah. And also because there was no water, because when I made Lisa's wraps, my apples are actually that size and it blends up. But because your recipe has no water at all, so I think it needs it needs the red onions to blend into a liquid before it can blend the rest.
So then we're just going to divide this into 4 equal portions on our nonstick dehydrator sheet. And I did do some beforehand, so after I'm done spreading these out, I can show the people what they do look like after they dry.
Oh, good. That's great. Thanks so much for doing that. I actually liked eating your tortillas on its own.
What was that? I didn't quite catch that.
Oh no, I said I actually like eating your smoky apple tortillas on its own. So the other day when I made it, I ate once it was ready because I made it across a few days, right, to make the Korean cauliflower tacos. So once the apple tortilla was ready, I gobbled one down, just plain.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I
the,
really
the,
liked it.
the tortillas are really tasty. I mean, you can just, eat them by themselves, and
Yeah,
they're really good.
yeah. It's such a good snack.
So then you're going to want to take a frosting spatula,
Yep.
and you're just going to want to work these around into a circle. Spread them out to about, I would say, maybe 6 inches in diameter, keeping them, I say in the book to not go over a 1/4 inch thick. Um, I should have maybe reworded that and said to keep them more at like 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah.
But as long as you don't go over a 1/4 of an inch, you should be fine. You might just have a little longer a dry time if they're a little thicker, but you wanna try and get them to 1/8 of an inch if possible.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something I will do when I make it the next time.
And then I just like to rotate the tray as I'm going here.
This is
And
good because we can see exactly how to make it. If I'm wondering, like, would you considering doing like, I mean, like maybe if next year you're still going to contribute to the bundle, will you consider doing some videos on like yeah, to just demonstrate? So do it as like a course rather than an ebook,
um,
then people can see.
yeah, I actually just started doing the ebooks last year, so all of this is kind of new to me
Ah,
still.
okay.
If if I could, you know, maybe have somebody walk me through how to do the courses, and if I could get the camera setups that.
Ah, yeah, it's the camera. Yeah, I think the camera setup you just put it on a tripod. Hmm. Because I'm actually using the Gumroad website to do my courses because I don't get charged because some some course sites you need to pay like a monthly fee. I like using Gumroad because they just take a cut of my sale. So if I
Uh,
don't sell anything, I don't have to pay them anything.
oh,
So it's just like each course that I sell, then I mean they do take like quite a big. I think it's a 10% cut, but I think that's okay because I don't need to pay any monthly fees at all.
right.
So when I make some money, they take just a bit of money, which is fine, because they host the videos and they host the sales page and all that. So that's really great.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something you might want to check out. But yeah, I think it's something I can talk about actually, like, yeah, like separately with all the bundle creators. You can tell Chris that I'll be happy to talk about my process on how to create a course on Gumroad so that, others would know as well. Because I'm pretty much a visual learner. So I find like when I watch the videos, it helps a lot. So when I saw you making this on you posted a similar video, but a time lapse video of you doing it on Instagram. Now I was like, oh right, okay. Because sometimes I read instructions and I can't visualize it. Yeah. So I
Yes.
was like, I need to make it way bigger because my tortillas actually shrunk. I'm not sure why, but I followed your dehydration times, but then I am in Malaysia and I find like in Malaysian weather, I always need to cut down on the dehydration times. Yeah, it doesn't take as long. But I did follow yours, so it's like I was like, why did it shrink? It became much smaller than the
Yes.
beginning.
I sometimes wonder, if I'm wording it in a way for people to understand. I know I'm sort of writing it in a way that I understand, but not everybody may interpret it the way I have it written out. So it probably is a good idea to do a course. Maybe you can make a course on how to do a course.
At one point, I was thinking of doing that because when I first discovered how to, like create ebooks and do a course, I actually did ask one of the vegan festival organizers. I said like, oh, I can do a talk on how to create all this, and then she told me like, oh, no one's gonna come for it. She said she could organize the talk, but she said I don't think anybody is really interested. But that was before, like, I think before the lockdowns, before people were used to um, buying online courses. I think, but even in Malaysia, I think people are more interested in taking my classes in person. I just had another person asking me when am I going to start doing in-person classes again. But yeah, yay! That looks so nice.
Okay, so there they are. We're going to stick these in the dehydrator. Now, once you have them spread out, you're going to stick them in the dehydrator at 115 degrees. I'll turn this
Yeah.
back up so
So
people.
115 degrees is Fahrenheit, guys, because in Malaysia we
Yes.
use Celsius. So in my recipe ebooks, I always put both the Fahrenheit and the Celsius just in case, people get confused. Yeah.
So
Because
yeah, it would be 115 degrees Fahrenheit.
yeah.
And then I like to rotate the tray after an hour. And then after another half an hour, which would be a total of 1.5 hours of dry time, you would then flip these onto a mesh tray.
Yeah.
And then once the side you just flipped up is dry to the touch, like within 30 minutes, and I explain that in the book, I like to flip it back over to keep the edges from curling up so much. And then if you don't have anything else in the dehydrator, I like to raise them up as high as possible, since the heat rises and it'll get that underside, even a little more drier. But 2.5 to 3 hours of dry time if your trays are the only thing in the dehydrator. Now I'm speaking from my own experience with my 9 tray Excalibur. If these are the only thing in the dehydrator at the time, 2.5 to 3 hours is basically all I need for total dry time with these. So I'm gonna put these over here, and then I'm gonna grab the ones that I did earlier.
Okay. Kevin, I just have some questions. Just in case those who are not familiar with raw food. So I think some of you might be wondering, what does that mean by rotate the tray after 1 hour of dry time?
Okay, what was the question?
Yeah, so for those who are not, because not everyone is familiar with using a dehydrator and Excalibur, your Excalibur dehydrator. And so when you say rotate the tray, maybe you can explain to people what that means.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sorry, you kept.
So,
yeah. Okay.
You would put your tray in the dehydrator.
Yeah.
And then after an hour,
yeah.
you're going to want to rotate it.
Yeah.
Just so, I guess that would be, so the side that was out
yeah.
towards
yeah.
the door, is back more towards the fan. So you're just rotating it.
Yeah.
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 To get a more even dry for everything on the tray itself.
Yeah. So basically you pull the trays out and then you rotate it 180 degrees, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you put it back in so that the tortillas that were facing you are now facing towards the fan, so they get more even. And you put it back into the tray and then close it and then dehydrate again. So that's what he means. And then also when you want to, he says after 30 minutes, you want to flip the tortillas onto a mesh tray. I don't know whether, do you have like 2 empty, trays to show how you do the flipping thing as well? Because I remember when I first started doing raw, and this was before my culinary training, I had no idea what flipping meant. So until I watched Marcus. Yeah, Marcus.
So of course this doesn't have anything on it right now, but we're gonna pretend like the tortillas are on this tray and they're ready to be flipped.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pull this out.
Yeah.
You're gonna sit it down.
Yes.
And then you're just gonna take one of the mesh trays and you're just gonna put it over top.
Yeah.
Put it over top so they're on top of each other, and you're gonna flip it like this. Mm-hmm. So that way you can just peel this dehydrator sheet up, and the tortillas will end up on the mesh tray that you just put on top of the tortillas. So if that makes sense.
Great. Thank you so much. Yeah, and guys, remember you should always peel the dehydrator sheet away from the tortilla, not the tortilla away from the dehydrator sheet, because you might break the tortilla. Yeah.
Now these are the ones we did earlier.
Yay!
So this is what
they
look
perfect.
Like. But I'm going to show you what we do with the curled edges. I kept one untrimmed. So but this is what they look like after you trim them, so you don't have the
Nice.
curled edges.
Awesome.
But I did keep one with the curled edges here. So you can see how the edges are going to curl up on you. So how we take care of that is you just grab a kitchen shears. Now, this is just something that you only use for food in your kitchen. It's not your scissors that you use for everything else around the house. So this is just the kitchen shears, and you're just going to want to, and this could be something that if you have small kids and you want to get them involved, I mean, just give them the shears and let them cut around. You know, this sort of takes me back to my grade school, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah, arts and crafts, right?
You know, cutting patterns and things, just learning how to use the scissors. So, but yeah, just take those curled edges right off with your kitchen shears. And then sometimes I just snack on the trimmings here, or sometimes I'll save them and chop them up into little bits and put them in a salad.
Yeah, I would totally just pop them into my mouth. I don't think they
Yeah,
can make it into my salad.
that's usually what I do. Yeah, they usually don't make it till tomorrow's salad. So but yeah, there's how flexible they are.
Nice.
And they are
Very, very
really soft.
nice.
They're not chewy. You don't have to like yank on them to try and
Yeah.
take a bite. You know, they bite right off. But yeah, so these are probably my favorite tortillas out of the book. But you know, I love the other ones. Just well, they're all good. But this one I
Cool.
use in most of the taco creations. If you have the book, you'll see that I recommend using the Smoky Apple for probably more of the taco creations than any of the other tortillas. So it's just flavor pairing. I'm so into like pairing things up to where it just everything complements. But so there you have it. And
Nice.
so I hope people were taking notes or they saved this video, because you now have the recipe for the Smoky Apple tortillas.
Yeah, guys. Thanks so much, Kevin. So,
And
does anybody have any questions for Kevin?
there is another tip that I have in the book too. Um, if your tortillas get done before the other components of your tacos, what I like to do is just put them in a glass bowl like this, put the lid on top, stick them in the bottom of the dehydrator. If you let them in there for 30 or 45 minutes, you'll be surprised when you pull them out, they'll even be more soft.
Wow.
So that is that's a really cool hack for, even if you're not using my tortilla recipes, try that out and just see how much softer they get. I guess even though we don't go above 115 degrees Fahrenheit, I guess, it's just my assumption. I guess it gets like a little steaming on there that just, keeps them from, it just keeps them from drying out. You definitely don't want them in the dehydrator drying too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a trick that works for me. And I really find that they're a lot softer. So, but yeah, so that's a good tip.
Nice. So we have Fully Woven. Hi, Apple. She said, I made my second batch of smoky apple tortillas today. I'm going to freeze them. Yay!
Yes, they do freeze well too. Yep.
So happy to hear you made your second batch already. So that means she must really like it to make another batch.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and once you pop them out of the freezer, you stick them in the dehydrator for 2 or 3 minutes, and they're as good as new. So yeah, they don't take long to thaw out, and really good for me because when I want tacos, I want them, you know, like right
Yeah.
away. I don't want to have to wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
a
It's so great that you
taco
don't need to tell
fanatic.
them.
So,
Yeah, I watched your interview with Chris and you mentioned that you used to go to this taco store like, 5 times in a week. I was like, wow, you really like them.
yeah. Yeah, I was pretty much keeping that place in business. If you watch the interview, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah,
Oh, nice,
this
nice.
is this has been fun. It's been great to connect with you. I know we've been messaging back and forth, but
Yes.
yeah. So,
I'm so glad you
but
did this. I think this will be very, very helpful for those who got the bundle. If you guys haven't gotten the bundle yet, go check out the links in either one of our bios. It's taking place until the 12th of May. You only need to pay $50 to get, 33 digital resources, including Kevin's ebook for the love of tacos and my Korean barbecue course. My Korean barbecue course is already $50. So if you already just pay for that, you get mine, Kevin's, Chris Candles, Lisa and Nate, Chef AJ's. You get so much, so much value. So do you have anything else to say before I go off? Sorry, I need to head off because I have a full day of things. I haven't had my breakfast yet, so I need to go make
that's
breakfast
fine.
as well. Yeah.
Now I am going to be trying your barbecue here in the next few days,
Oh,
so
nice.
I'll have to let you know. And well, I'm sure I'll be posting about it because I'm sure I'm just going to absolutely love it. I think I told you I was messing around with a bulgogi myself last
Yeah.
year and didn't really get it the way I wanted to get it. So it's just really cool that you came out with that, and now I'm like, oh, maybe I don't have to create it. I can just eat somebody else's.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about the bundle. I'm like, oh, I don't have to like crack my head to think of what to make. I can just like try out different recipes from everybody. So that's a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't see any questions. So I'm gonna let's wrap it up. It's a wrap. It's a tortilla wrap.
It's a wrap.
Thank you so much, Kevin, and thank you everyone for joining us. For those who are watching the replay, if you have any questions, just comment down below, and then Kevin and I will answer them. All right. Yeah. So all right. Good night, Kevin, and
All
bye
right.
everyone.
Get the bundle.
Take care. Bye.